I want your advice regarding furnace igniter problems.
If the furnace won't light, I'd first ask what type of ignition you have. Some systems use pilot lights, while others have a type of electronic ignition switch.
I know the pilot light is what you call the one you light with a match or lighter. What types of electronic ignition switches are there?
If you have an electric ignition switch, it may be a hot surface switch with an element, while electric intermittent pilot switches use an electric spark.
Honestly, I do not know which type I have, just that it is not working.
I'm assuming the ignition switch isn't failing to work because you failed to flip the valve to give it gas, or errors that the gas valve is stuck shut.
The gas valve is set right, and I do not see an error that it cannot get gas.
The average ignition switch lasts 3 to 5 years.
The ignition switch was replaced not that long ago.
Ignition switches can die because the unit has been used too much, because the unit cycles on and off, like starting the car engine over and over again.
The unit has not been cycling because the unit was overheated, and there is not condensate buildup in the furnace killing the flame.
Sometimes they fail because the switch was broken while you were cleaning the flame sensor.
I pay someone to do that maintenance along with changing out the air filters.
I've seen ignition switches fail to light because the control board is erroring out. Make sure you check the control board errors before you assume the switch needs to be replaced.
I know it needs to be replaced regularly, because the HVAC repair guy says to keep a spare switch around.
Yes, they are something good to keep around. Because you don't want to wait days for the new switch after waiting what already seemed like forever getting a service person to show up.
It is certainly more efficient than keeping a spare furnace around.
The benefit of an ignition switch spare is that if it won't light and you change it out, you won't feel so bad about someone recommending that the furnace control panel needs to be replaced.
What else can I check before I worry about paying that big repair check?
Check the circuit breaker. If the gas is on but the power to the furnace is not, the electronic ignition switch cannot turn on.
The power in the house is on.
Doesn't mean the fuse to the furnace did not blow.
At least now I won't blow $200 on a service call for someone to replace a $5 part.